Mambo vipi Soxxy hapa and welcome to yet another amazing episode of Daddy's Corner. Hapa ndipo tuna celebrate dads as we talk about our highs, our lows, tukisikiza stories zao za kilio, kicheko, mambo yamepitia hapa na pale, and also getting to learn from them, mistakes they've made in the past. And today I have an amazing dad. Huyu mse ndio the master of transitions, master of kujiri-invent. Mse mnapenda sana, mse wa nguvu sana, mse wa kelele. Wabebe! Wabebe! Itakuwaje?
Ishakuwa baba.
Hata ikafika mahali transition tukoona ni kama you are transiting, you want like to be like Ginene.
We are transiting
so
to
Soxxy people are blessed.
Yeah, you are blessed.
Yeah.
We are, you are the vision.
We are the vision.
Yes.
This is where you want to go. Because
that
I can see gyms coming up every
Yes.
single day.
Yes.
Na nashindwa mimi nikitembea watu wananichekelea nimekonda, lakini nikiona you're transfusing,
I'm moving into the nini.
Yeah. I feel very nice.
You are shedding off the nini.
I feel very nice.
The weight that so easily ensnares
But you are lucky. You are lucky people. Are people saying maybe the nini caught you?
No, they are not saying because I spoke about it openly.
You are lucky.
Ilibidi niliwaambia watu mapema. Na pia kwa sababu watu walikuwa wanafanya the thing and then they are hiding.
Yeah, that's true. There's no shame.
There's no shame in it. It's just the stigma ya watu because of course it's a tough time, etc. But it's an investment in yourself. Nasemanga a week or 2 weeks ukichapa hosi critical. Man utauza shamba, utauza nini. So if you can spend that amount of money for a better life tomorrow and it's something that is guaranteed, do the thing.
Na nikuulize, is it that ulikuwa umejaribu kila kitu? Because nilikuwa naona unapiga tizi.
Man,
ulikuwa unapiga tizi sana. Is it that everything failed?
Yeah.
And that was the only option that you had, the last option?
Well, yes and no. I still think that maybe if I would have tried, ningendelea. The only thing is that the problem is when I was working out, my challenge was when I work out, you lose weight, but you see working out has to be a lifestyle. So and sometimes I wasn't even at naenda kukula junk. I just work out, do the thing, and then in like 2 weeks, nikikula tu normal tu, niko tu home eating 3 meals a day.
Inarudi.
So then that would mean that I have to make some radical decisions of no carbs, radical decisions of course no sugar. No sugar is okay, but now carbs, your body needs carbs anyway. So pia sasa could deny, but if you're looking for that radical change, the problem is sustaining. Yeah. So I worked out. I started with Alvin. I went to Evelyn. I went to Maurice. But every time I would come back. So it got to a time I just gave up. Then after I gave up, I started increasing. Then by the time I was going to do my surgery now, I was already 164 kgs.
Kgs?
Yes.
164, unajua ni watu, mimi watu wangapi?
164.
Mimi ni watu.
Imagine.
Many of us.
But unaweza kuwa, I don't know if you can anyway be 164 and okay, but I think for me it was just alarming because even when I went to the hospital, wakaniambia wewe ungefika December, based on your trajectory of the way you're telling us you used to gain weight, you ungekuwa na hit kama 180, and then that now would not be healthy. That would be either ungekuwa umepata heart attack ama just something would have been wrong. Your body would not have continued this way. And even during the process, they did what they call an ECG, because I wasn't breathing well, my oxygen levels went low. So then they realized I've had high blood pressure for about 3 years. And so I had to get on pressure meds. Yeah. It was
critical.
Yeah.
Yet you woke up one day and decided, naenda surgery.
No, I did decide I'm going for surgery, but now of course sometimes when, like for me this is my first time going under. So sometimes when you go for surgery, whatever is underlying as you're recovering now comes basically to the fore. Because you may shake body, so you kind of reset sort of. So those are some of the things that luckily I found out, because even when I was going, the pressure was high. When during the post recovery, the pressure was still high, so they decided, let's run some extra tests because this pressure is not okay. And then especially when my oxygen levels went down, then they're like, what's up? Then is when they realized that this guy umekuanga na high blood pressure, it's just that saja tu amekuwa kikuguide. Yeah.
Na vile unarukarukanga
man, na hiyo pia nasaidia pia. I think that was helping.
Yeah, by the way.
Yeah, and then also I guess also those bouts when I would go to the gym ilikuwa inasaidia. You know, now because you go to the gym, you change your lifestyle a bit, your body kind of starts resetting pole pole nini. So it was, but now the months to the surgery, you know, it was constant weight gain. And then now you kind of dress it up. You buy bigger fitting clothes.
Yeah.
You know,
So you are accommodating it.
Yeah. So it doesn't look like that per se. You know, and then on TV unaruka this guy ako sawa. Kumbe
Kumbe ndani inaisha.
yes, naangalia picha zangu zingine back in the day, and then but it was stressful. Jumano unaangalia kwa mirror. In fact I never used to look at the mirror in my birthday suit. Lazima nivae nguo.
As in you used
I would feel it. Yeah.
Yourself.
So I had to dress up, then I can. Now the final look unajiangalia kabla uende home. Uende job au utoke kwa nyumba. That's when I would be okay.
So basically, it had actually messed your esteem.
Yes.
The way you see yourself.
Yes, it had.
Wow.
That plus, of course, people bullying you. People wanaenda kuchapa picha na nafana kwa kumbe unakuwa mkubwa hivi. You know, na me comment but naisikia like
inakukula.
Or like sasa hata kwa gari, you know, you've adjusted the chair.
Imefika mwisho lakini bado
like, yani kutoka kwa gari, kupanda stairs, like you just constantly not feeling, you're just feeling like you are dragging. So it was getting to me.
Tuguzie hapo kwa esteem because kwanza wacha before esteem.
Yeah.
Hii inaitwa
this is Michael Jenga.
This is Michael
Jenga.
So Michael Jenga, you remove 1-1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
1-1.
Yeah.
I remove.
Yes.
Lakini uanzie chini usianze kutoa za juu.
Yes.
Kama for example.
Kai.
Kama for example.
We.
Ngoja nitolee side nyingine. Iko rahisi.
Yesu.
Kama for example.
Hivyo tu sasa.
Hivyo sasa watoa kingine. Tuone kama Any na utoe na kidole moja, mkono one hand.
One hand, eh?
No, two hands.
Is it this one now?
Najaribu ile Twitter, bora usiangushe. Hii game tunacheza mpaka hii kipindi ishe, kwa hivyo usiangushe mapema.
Nimeshika ika movie yote.
Hebu niulize lakini esteem and you are a dad.
Wait, I got one.
Wacha nikutolee.
Thank you.
Because you're
Thank you very much indeed.
Self-esteem.
Folks, in the Jenga of life, people can leave. Things can leave you, but you still remain standing. Robert Burale. Hivyo nangesema.
By the way, motivational speaker anaweza eka kitu yote popote. Anything to get motivation.
Yes.
But ukiongea about self-esteem, and we, as a dad now, and we raise our children to be, basically, what we to know, how we are,
right.
And they want to be like us. Sindio? Leading by example. Do you think this could have, at some point, or did you ever think about how I'm feeling? I'm not feeling proud of who I am and how I look actually. As they pass down to what you want, or did it affect the relationship that you have with them?
Well, I think for my kids, basically, because you know at that age they still really don't know, especially for my son. Ajui daddy is overweight. In fact, all the kids are the ones. By the way, even some older kids are still telling me, "Hey, now we are menona."
Ukweli?
Yeah. All the kids are crazy.
They are honest.
They are honest like hey. Anyway, so and hey, you are big, you know. So, but for my son, we need superhero, man. Every time I in and out, this is daddy. This is how daddies are.
Wow.
Yeah, hajui.
Wow.
But now, just for them, how it affected me was, if I go on this way and something is to happen to me, like in the extreme, then I've messed up. I want to grow with my kids. I want to enjoy waone daddy.
Kweli.
Yeah.
Alafu daddy sasa, juzi tu daddy akadecide hii kazi ikae.
Yeah.
Kwenda hii kazi.
How na ho?
Kwenda. Mzee. Kwani daddy wa aina gani una decide tu na wewe ndio breadwinner?
Well,
you decide let me quit.
Yeah.
I don't want this job anymore.
Yes. Well,
that?
we share the bread, just like Jesus did. Pray and bless it and share it with my fiancée. However, guy, woo! Okay, you did it.
However,
all right. So, of course, that was my first thing, and that's the thing that holds a lot of people back. It was my first thing to think about these two people. How is this thing going to affect them? In terms of, so I had a conversation with my fiancée Ivy, and I said, this is what I feel, I want to do. Kitambo, like maybe in 2020. I was like, I must feel a bit like I need something else. I need an advancement career-wise, or I need, and that time I just started school as well. And what also happens when you go to school, you see, if you are, and this happens, well, let me say it happens to most people, not everybody, so it can't be like a story ya kila mtu, but you see when you're in the bubble, your media, and let's say fame, and everywhere you go, guys are applauding, and hey, wa baby, and ya Willis, whatever, unajulikana. You can disappear in the bubble. You can think that this is all life is about. Well.
Willis, wa baby ni wewe? Sawa.
Hallelujah. Ukwaje? Yeah, but still, you can get lost in the bubble. And you can think that this is what life is all about. And then you go to school, and one of the things that school does, I believe that one of the things is, yes, the papers are good, the master's, the doctorate, the degree, the diploma are good, but one thing school does is also it gives you, it opens up your mind to other people's experiences, and also to the world. That's I think that's the primary goal of education. True. Yes, people go so that watching a master's but a better job. That's well and good, but in the process, it opens you up to better thinking, wider thinking, global thinking. And as that was happening for me, I kept realizing that there's more to life. I mean, I'd known it, but now it just cemented it, that there's more to life than fame or popularity. Yeah. Life is about impact and changes and what's happening, etc. So that's when I started thinking about it. And then now we did the worst case scenario. What's the worst that could happen? If you leave, you're properly dejected and rejected, and the world forgets about you, now it's a wrap.
And that's a fear.
Yeah.
That's a real fear.
Yes. Nikasema, well, so if that happens, what happens? So tunafunga, just like most people did during COVID, unafunga, unarudi home. Kwa mzae. Alafu sasa finya reset button, restore factory settings.
Kwa hivyo sasa wewe unarudi ushago.
Tunarudi ushago.
And this conversation una have na Ivy.
Na Ivy, yes. Okay. Tutaenda na watoto wote tuende. So akasema sawa, tutaenda na watoto wote if that's to happen, but itabidi wewe sasa urudi Nairobi kutafuta kazi. Yeah. So utaishi na nani ukiwa huko? So sasa hapo ndo sasa tukabaki tutakuwa marela, tutakuwa mabeshte, and how long can you be a burden? You're afraid of being a burden. So those are things that we were actually talking about. So we said, okay, that's worst case scenario. So at least for ikienda mbaya, now we're in. Because for me, what the thing that I was gladly delivered from is what will people say. You and I, it's like
ati Willis ako jobless.
It's just my reality. That's where I am. If I'm jobless, I'm jobless. If I have a job, it's okay. So forget the people first, because some people also stay because what will people say. Sometimes we are afraid to make a move, not because we are afraid of failure, but more we are afraid of embarrassment.
True.
So I had to deal with that first. So we said, okay, what's the flip side? Well, the flip side is that you could even be better. You could start your own thing. Yeah. You could move. You could get another job.
A better one.
Yeah, you could finish school and teach, and so now we're exploring other options. So then now we weighed the pros against the cons. And what about the children? So for the children, we decided, okay, these kids, yes, already right now, they're pooping through diapers. They be out there. They come a machine gun. But
you amechukua from baba ama mama?
No, that one is I'm proud. That's a father thing. That is
but that's a healthy baby.
Yeah.
It's a healthy baby.
I'm a sharpshooter. Amechukua kila kitu hadi harufu. So kitu ingi. So tukasema these kids, they'll probably start school in about 2 years. So again, worst case scenario, I have 2 years to
readjust.
Yeah, to sort myself out so that these kids waanze shule. So now at that point, now it basically now boiled down to betting on yourself. And for me, I always say, always bet on yourself because uta win. Even if you fail, you will learn, and that's still a win. So I said, all right, let's do this.
You took the risk.
Yeah, and I'm so happy that I had a fiance and partner who was willing to allow, because others would be like, do what? 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 Aje?
To change lifestyle. Tumezoea.
Yeah. Ngasema wewe nike mani. One mogoroki.
Karate bao.
Wewe man. Kira. Yeah.
Unaenda
Yep. Yeah, but at least I didn't allow. And also it's a discussion I also had with my family. That is my mother and father, and my siblings by extension as well, and on her side as well. And I said, let's, and it's also important to note that while it is good to seek the advice of people, I also talked to a few friends. And of course, advice was, there were different ways. There's always a different argument. Like, aje.
Depending on unaongea na nani.
Yes.
Kuna takers na kuna
alafu na kuna wale wafanya. Na huyo aje. So it's different. Same thing with my parents. My mom has always been on my side. It's okay. My dad was like, how? What? And it's not like he doesn't want. It's just like, hey, you're a dad now as well. And you're the man and all these things.
True.
So it was a discussion that went on, and we talked to them. And once Ivy was on the same page with me, I was good. Then once my parents also saw the gist, I was good. And I was like, okay, let's do it. But I was not going to my parents for approval. Yeah.
You had already decided.
I had already decided.
Okay.
I was just telling them, this is what's happening. Now, my fail safe, pia nikurudi home. I could show up there with that. I could show up there with that. Habari. So what had happened was
Anashinda tumekaa sana hata tuko tunarudi Nairobi.
Yeah. Hata huko tumeuza vitu.
Kila kitu
hatuna. So
tumekuja mtu weke.
Yeah, so I had to let them know that
And talking about your parents, and you've gone through different transitions from mahali ulianzia kazi kama intern, ukakuwa reporter, ukaendelea senior reporter, ukasoma news nini. Alafu hapo kuna ka season pia wewe tukaona ni kama
yes,
ukatoka serious news.
Yes.
Ukaingia mchezo. When we see the Willis that we know reading news,
right,
we assume you are at your prime.
Right.
But now you flip. Unaanza entertainment. Your transition ilikuwaje?
Well,
let me ask what most people would want to ask you.
Okay.
What were you going through?
Nothing.
What were you going
through? Now the Willis for Tenamaten is the actual Willis. Yeah.
The same person.
That's now, you see, and I know we'll talk about the book later, but that's what it means to be undefined. Because you see that notion is what, you see, you said we will what? Assume that you're at your prime. It's an assumption. It's not the reality. It might be prime for other people, and that is okay.
But
other people, that is the goal. Reporter, 1 p.m., then finally get to news. That's the thing we want to do. But for me, when the opportunity came, and so we sat down with the MD, and he was like, so, we've done some research recently, and the numbers are showing that the people who are watching Citizen TV now are 35 and above mostly. We don't really have this younger demographic. So what can we do to get them? So I said, give us some time. So I went down, sat a couple of us, Joey, producer Alex, and many other people, and we basically came up with 10 over 10 and said the different thing we'll do that has not been done so far on Kenyan television is we'll put an audience, we'll put the show past Watershed just in case to retewe noma. But it's going to have dance, going to have all these things. And then, that's how we'll model the show. And we took it to the MD. I was like, this is a good thing. Let's do it. So we were thinking, tuko na 2 weeks kufanya promo. Let's get ready. He woke up one Wednesday and said, show another Friday. And that's how Tenamaten 10 started. And when it started, of course, my parents, over and above, him being in provincial administration, he's a pastor at church. And of course, everybody and their mama and their cousin and their sister were calling him and saying, now your son now has there's a problem. This is an attack.
Talk to him.
The devil.
Of the devil.
He has come to, don't let the devil take your child.
And actually,
Don't.
as you do that,
Yes.
as you go through this transition,
Yes.
I could still see you in a church.
Yes.
Kanisani hapo.
Yes. Nilikuwa pale. JCC.
Mbele unamulikwa hivi.
Yeah. Because it was live. I mean, it was live on TV. And it was funny because, so when it's live on TV, it was live on Citizen.
Yeah.
So the cameramen, of course, most of them are my friends and I know them. So sasa wakiniona hapo church, wana zoom hapo. Unaona hapo, we lift up holy.
Now una worship
We
kabisa.
lift up holy. But you see, 10/10 was my job. It's just come a Christian who works at
EABL.
EABL, for example.
Yeah.
And most of these jobs are secular. Do you know a Christian job?
Hakuna.
Apart from church?
Hakuna.
Yeah, so why is there hypocrisy? Otherwise, the world is secular. We are not in Israel. Yeah, and even in Israel and the Israel nations zingine, all these jobs are secular. So it is just how you represent God in those areas. I used to argue this. So 10/10 used to be watched by about 3.5 million viewers every Friday. Right? I don't think there's any pastor who in their congregation has 3.5 million people.
Nothing.
So in the beginning of the show, in the beginning, when I say, listen, God loves you and that will never change. If you're going through something, talk to somebody, do all these things, which I used to try to do every show, versus the people who won't even go to church. I've reached 3.5 million and your local pastor has reached 1,000.
Ilikuwa napenda vile ulikuwa unaanza. Everyone in the mood and go.
Go be a boss.
But unajua kuna time hiyo season there are people who that's the only time wange come in contact na gospel music.
Exactly, and we used to do Sinach.
Kina
We
Sinach.
used to host gospel artists by the way on 10/10. Masi Masika, Saizate, all these guys, they used to come. But now the problem is, because the show was more popular, they wanted to come to 10/10 instead of going to the other Christian shows. So
what are you saying about,
don't panic.
what are you saying about our show?
So what happened was, and also because they viewed it the same way I did.
Yeah, true.
Because it's ministry, right?
True,
The ministry is to change the quote unquote unchanged. So they viewed that if I go there and say, Nasiwezi chizulia. And also the thing I realized that each and every person, I think somebody has, I read this quote somewhere, has a God-filled void in their heart.
That's true.
No matter where you are. It's like a space yenye ni Mungu na anafaa kufit kwa hiyo jigsaw puzzle. And so even, it's just that people assume, it's an assumption that these kids hawajui Mungu. Just because you talk, it doesn't mean hawajui Mungu.
True.
Atujui unaombanga, you don't know.
Hawajui hata relationship yake na Mungu
hawajui.
Usiku akitoka.
Yes, kuna jamaa mwingine hapo, let me tell you. Let me give you an example. If you have a friend, a very close friend of yours, who today comes and tells you, by the Soxxy, unajua. No, not even today comes and tells you. He's convicted for murder. Ameua msee. Okay? Nani yeye, hata yeye mwenyewe anasema yeye, but this is
niliua.
Mimi niliua msee. And then tomorrow, people see you with this TV, yani iko kwa TV, convicted felon, DCI wamesha tweet hapo in their poetry. Court for nini, convicted court, boom, gone. And then kesho, unatembea na yeye, watu wanaona, Soxxy spotted with murderer. How will that feel? People will assume that huyu mtu hajui Mungu, si ndio? But David alifanya nini? In fact, yeye kwanza aliona dem anaoga pale, akasema ule boy, in fact mwekeni huko mbele.
Frontline akule risasi. Aende, mimi nichukue huyu.
Mimi nichukue.
But
Saja akasema huyu ndo the guy after my own heart, not because he didn't know his sin, but it's the posture of his heart. That's what God looks at. Not that's why I always say God loves you and that will never change, whether you're watching me from a brothel, a hospital, a church, a monastery, whatever it is you're watching the show from,
God still
Mungu
loves you.
anakupenda. Because that is ministry. You should change those people. That's how I view it. Me, I view it as any job. Na mwenye amenipatia hii job ni Saja. Better me than anybody else.
That's true.
And that's why it was a success for all those years.
Na God amekupenda in many ways, that amekubariki na watoto. Ishio.
All ni tatu, but yeah.
Ishio.
Wasaini wawili. There are 3. One is with him huko. Wakinicheki was happening. And then wawili wako.
Let's talk about your first one.
Yes.
Alikuwa anaitwa
Adana.
Adana ina any meaning?
Yes,
Ama
but yeah.
Ni jina mzuri.
Yeah, it actually means daddy's daughter.
Wow.
Yeah, daddy's girl basically.
Mkaget mtoia. Take us through the last moments. Yeah.
So what happened was, I think,
Yeah, what happened?
so actually we actually had one that we lost at about 3-4 months. Then our Dan as well was the next one, who came all the way till 9 months, and she was ready. She was in her going through the labor pains and everything, and then we lost her there. So, man, I don't think that has ever been that actually qualifies as the lowest time in my life. I don't know if, and I'm not rushing for anything to top that. Yeah. But that was the lowest point in my life, because we were there, waiting, went through all the motions, all the labor pains, everything, all.
And
the
at that point, nothing was wrong.
Well, at that point we had already been told that there is a possibility that, she might not make it.
Okay.
But of course, we were still hopeful. So we went through the whole motions and everything.
At the point, let me take you back a bit. At the point that maybe the doctor akakama akakwambia, this could go either way.
Well, the doctor didn't actually tell me. The doctor just came and said there is no heartbeat. That was it. And I think those were like, I don't know. I sank into such a darkness that I don't know if it was intense. I was in such a deep, dark hole. It's like everybody who was talking around me, ilikuwa echo. Like ni kama unaongea but sikusikii. Nasikia unaongelelea mbali. Because I couldn't imagine. Because just 3-4 days before,
things were okay.
Nilikuwa nashika hivi nasikia na kick. Like hata amekick tena and all that. So I was like, what do you mean? How? And we went to the doctor's private practice first, na akacheck, tukasikia actually the heartbeat.
Kila kitu iko sawa.
Yes, then now we went to the main hospital, then tunaambiwa hivyo. So for me, I couldn't believe what was happening. So I think I was in not really denial, but we were still hopeful. Still hoping for something, a miracle. And, it wasn't until I finally held the baby in my hands, nikafeel cold, nikamwita. Whew. Yeah, but it was done. So I think from that moment, hiyo time nilikaa huko nje first for a while. I was just asking God, I don't know, but I think this is the most cruel thing you can do to somebody. Yeah, so just know we're on a break. Because like you allowed this to happen, cool, it's okay. They say don't question God, it is mimi na question. And from where I'm sitting, you have let me down in mess, because now I have to go in there to a different reality. And even the day that we were leaving, I was like, look at all these people living with their babies. And Mimi, I came in here and we have nothing to show for it. So I'm like, all right. Awesome, God, thank you. Thanks for that. By there I was...
you felt nothing. Ulijua Mungu umeniangusha.
Yeah. Me, I literally, it was still, I guess because of my upbringing, it was still somewhere in there. But me, I was done. I was like, looks like Hauko.
And what changed from the Willis, the pre-Willis before then and post-Willis? Is there something that changed in you?
Yeah, I think also because now I had to take time off of work and be home, and I just became more aware of things. You see, like the way I was saying, I sat and I realized hapa na Mungu amenicheza. I became more aware of myself. Because I think that time everything was stripped away. There was no Willis or TV, there was no, like, nothing else.
And you are
mattered.
all alone.
I was with...
as in you, the pain that you feel, you can't feel it
yes,
with someone.
I can't feel it with somebody else. And then also even my partner at the time is also going through pain in her own way, because, you know, and like I say, rightly so, amekuwa akifeel the movements
Throughout for 9 months.
the changes in her body, the stretch marks, the pains, all of that. And now she also has to go through the healing and all these things. So, you know, also trying to now strike a balance. How do I be there for her? How do I be there for me? Then, of course, what again society keeps telling you, kaka kidogo, jaribu. I'll look for another one. Or you have to be there for her. And it's okay. But as men, people don't talk about what, because you are emotionally involved. Especially if you are a present partner.
True.
You are emotionally involved from the beginning. From that point you're told, hey, you're pregnant.
2 weeks
you're like,
pregnant.
wow. Yeah. You start going into your mind and planning and thinking and all these things. So,
something that we don't talk about. Eating you inside, but face value, you try and put a strong face.
Yeah, that's why I took longer even to go back to work. And we went away as well, because the other thing that was happening is I didn't want people to start telling me sorry, because it was so raw. And I knew that if I stay, we went to stay with my brother in the US for a while, because I feel like if I go to the petrol station, if I have to go to the supermarket, if I go to this place, everybody is still so fresh.
Willis.
Yes. And even then, I was still dreading coming back, going to the office, because you know the first week, you also have friends at the office who, of course, are sorry. You know, everybody would shake my hand and hug me for longer than, you know, it was really, my tears were right there. So I was also dreading going back to work, because then I'm like, oh man, I have to go through another maybe 2-3 weeks of being told sorry. So for me, during that time, it really changed, because you see now for me, again, growing up in the environment of being a Christian, it's basically all you know. So now when you strip that away, I wasn't, I would look, if I'm scrolling through Instagram, I see any preacher, I'm like, I swipe. And we felt like that, both of us felt like that. So we felt like God has let us down, because we did everything that is supposed to be done. Before that, we used to go to church, and you know they say lay your hands on your baby, pray for them. We did all of that. So I was like, if God knew this how it's going to end, mapema. Or why even let us get pregnant in the first place? But so it left me so vulnerable. At some point, I lost myself entirely, because I didn't know. You know, I didn't want to. I remember, and I say this a lot, Pastor S. Pastor Mbeviolo says, if you ask DJ Soxxy, who are you? You are most likely to reply with what you do, not who you are. So I went through that phase of, you know, now that my identity was going to change to father, now
it has.
Yeah.
That has
then my identity in Christ.
You don't feel like you.
Even people who would send me messages about, oh, it is well. It's not.
Actually, let me ask, are there insensitive things during that season that you are told that maybe you can caution people that, hey, usiseme hivi, please, usi. You mean well. You mean it in a good way, but usiseme.
Well, first, don't say it is well, because it's not. It's not okay. And people have to be comfortable with saying that. I guess people are, I don't want to say brainwashed, we are accustomed to God being loving, and yes, He is. And so when you say it is well, it's supposed to be the context of all things working together for good, right? At that point, that person doesn't need to know that. They need you to acknowledge their pain, first of all. And it's even better, kama wewe haukwangi poa na kuongelesha watu, enda tu ukae neno mnyamaze. Just go to the house, cook for them, let them be sitting there. If they want to talk, you talk. If not, watch a kai kwa simu, watch series. But that is if you're not the type to talk and encourage. It's better ukue hapo mnyamaze than you say things like, oh, maybe huyo mtoto wako angegrow up akuwe na deformity. Oh, maybe mtoto wako angekuwa gangster. Ni sawa, but angekuwa. Na sahi hayuko. So how do we know? Na wewe, who died and made you prophet? So that now tuambie ati ilikuwa ikue. And if you could see alikuwa akue deformed ama akue gangster, basi ungeniambia also prepare for atakuwa. But you didn't.
Or wengine useme usijali, well you're still young.
Yes, you're still young, utapata mwingine. But see interesting that. Yes,
tukianza hii conversation nilisema you have 2 children and you corrected me haraka.
I said 3 years.
3. Yeah. So there's still a place that she has in your heart.
Yes. Because
and that will never change.
I mean, 3 weeks ago I was crying in my car, still remembering. It doesn't go away. It doesn't go away because again, because I say you had expectations, dreams and all that, and now especially that you have children again, because if God blesses you, you still have children after, and now that you see them, it always makes you wonder, like if this guy is like this and this person has taken character, I wonder how Adana would have been, if she was here now, and how that would be.
So there are actually times you sit, think about it, and you break down.
Yes, and I think there'll be more times even in the future, because, and actually I was talking to Phil, and he told me something. He said that he read somewhere that somebody says every time you're crying, it is just because of the love you have for that person, of what could have been and all that, and also that sometimes probably for those who believe, of course, in the life after, they're probably just hata hawa wanakupenda. Like, man, I'm sorry, but niko huku, So Muslims actually believe that now they actually become like your guardian angels, like wanakaa hapo na Mungu kukutetea. That's the belief that Muslims have, at least when I talk to some of my Muslim friends. The best thing you can do to somebody is to tell them, if you've gone through it before, but because some of my friends have gone through it as well, what I normally tell them is, I cannot understand your exact specific pain, because pain is individual, like you said, but I can understand what you could be going through. Because you see, my good friend CJ Atemo says, even in relationships, people change, right? Your partner knows you at that point. They don't know you without a job. They don't know you when you grieve. They don't know you when you're happy. They don't know you when you have money. They don't know you when you don't have money. So people change over time. So sijui this msiba ilikupata at what point, where were you in life, right? So I can't tell you I totally understand, but just the fact that I've gone through loss, I do. And I would recommend people follow. There's a lady called Zoe Adele on Instagram who talks a lot about loss and what not to say. And anybody who has gone through it, I normally send them that. I really want to thank the people who actually reached out to me as well, and who actually told me, tuko na wewe, same thing, sielewi bro, but I'm sorry. Other than the insensitive people who even, and this happens unfortunately to my Christian brothers and sisters. True. It is okay. We do understand that there is power in God, there is power in the blood, there is life after, there is all things work together for good. But these things are, there is a measured way to say them. Don't be matter of fact until you're even trying to brush aside my pain. Maliza, God is going to bless you with another child.
Hata nafikiria hata hivyo unasema umepitia already, uko na pain na God. Alafu mtu anakama na kwamba it was God's will.
It was God's will. Me, I used to tell people, like, I know it sounds funny, but I know a little bit about wills because it's half my name. Minaitwa Willis. So if God's will is this and this, what are you telling me about? I know. I mean, and I think also that what I would also like to say for people, I know, because I had people who are really honest with me, who told me, what, Willis, I'm exactly where you are. For me, I went back to church last month, and it's been 2 years. I've still been dealing with it. And you know what, Soxxy, Mungu ana appreciate ukiomba na umwambie ukweli.
True.
Yeah, because prayer is conversation. And I appreciate because by the day when you let down, I'm still not over it.
Na actually si ati hata usipoisema
anajua
hati yako mali.
So even if you go out there say I thank you Lord,
deep down
anaona. Then if you're going to have truthful relationship, you should have a truthful relationship with God, of all people. Because he's the one who knows you way, even with your deep, dark thoughts, he knows everything. So why not, why jeopardize that relationship by lying? And he can see that you are lying. It doesn't help you at all. And I just think that even for people who, so there are people who might be in the same position like me, whereby you lost a baby, then you lost your marriage, then now you're trying for another baby again. It can be scary, and you know, you need your partner. Even if even if it is within, you still remain together, and you just went through loss. It is you have to understand that it's scary for both of you. Because I remember even for me when now Ivy was pregnant in Mali. Hey, especially because I was told there is no heartbeat. Whoa. Every hospital visit, when the doctor would put the yes, the first time I was very happy because oh wow. Then but immediately I remembered.
We've been there before.
Yes. So for me, those 9 months it was really a push and pull. I'm happy, but I don't want to be too happy. Then I don't want to rob Ivy of me being fully happy and that joy. So it was such a balance, but I'm happy that she understood, and she always would check with me like, are you okay? Is everything okay? And you know, we had the conversation, and I told her, you know me, for the last one we pushed and it didn't come out as, so for me, the prevailing set of circumstances, she said, you know, it's okay. Yes.
So wow.
Yeah, so, and I was like, but a CS is more dangerous, you know, by medical standards. But she's like, no, if that will
so
put
she
you at ease.
accommodated you in that way.
Yes, if that will put you at ease, and we talked through it with the gynecologist, the OBY guy now. So
Obs-gyne.
Yes, Obs-gyne. And she said, I mean, it's okay. You can do an elective, it's okay.
Wow.
So for me, and you know, I was like, you know, that means that you're gonna,
and she'll go through pain, and even the healing process
will be longer.
But just to
I mean, I think,
to accommodate you and your fear.
Yeah, for me.
Wow, Ivy.
Salute, because anyway, I'm getting emotional.
Because yani, let me tell you, see, my wife pia alifanya CS ya kwanza, and I saw the pain.
And then that's the thing, the healing process. I think, I don't know, they don't paint, they might give you an idea, but nobody paints you.
Like this.
Halafu tuna technology may change and what. But the process after going through it, I think there is nothing that brings you as close as that. And that's why I really feel pain also for ladies who go through that now alone, like single mothers. Wow. And you know, I imagined all of that. And even when we were going through that, I was saying, babe, imagine there's a dude who aliweka mtu ball na akastep. So the lady is now in hospital alone, probably with a close friend, but nothing can really replace that presence of the person, the father of the baby there. I think it brings you closer. Shout out to all the single moms and everything you've gone through. So yeah, I can say that living life after that, even with my son, even as he was, you know, in the initial stages, man, I used to wake up just to check if he's okay, watch if he's breathing. Yes, you know, like
fears that we never speak about.
Man, and it happens. Ama unamtap mwivi afanye.
Shida hata unamtap sana anaamka. But nikitest kama yuko high.
Especially first time, you know. For me, I was like, I was what they call a helicopter parent. Nilikuwa na hoover tu hapo tu.
Make sure tu.
Anakula no. I remember the time alikuwa anakula piece of, the first time we had a scare, he was eating a piece of chicken, the bone, then akatoa ile cartilage, inaitwa cartilage, kale ka soft. Akaanza kuchoke. Hey. You know, we did first aid nini ikatoka, but after it was done, all of us were crying. Everybody was crying. Everybody was crying.
Ukoona ni kama inajirudia tena sasa.
I can't believe
this will.
Yes, this is, and I had to really tell myself, you know, because sometimes you're so scared. You're so scared. Like, and that's something I even deal with today. I have to constantly tell myself, you know, everything is going to be okay. They're going to be okay. it is God's will for me to see them grow. You know, everything is going to be okay. They're going to go through it and everything, you know, because it hoovers a bit. And it needs a lot of therapy.
True. As a dad, what's your greatest fear?
My greatest fear is actually losing my children. And not even to death. It's like if Ivy is to wake up today and say, I'm out with the kids. Oh, hiyo itanimaliza. Hiyo, let me tell you, I would be okay. Like, I'll be like, oh man. Hiyo.
So not just even
not
death.
Just like death. Like Ivy asema tu, hey!
Mi imeisha. Umenichosha?
Yeah, I'm leaving.
Wabebe, mi nabeba.
Ati nabeba watoto. I'm like, to where? How? Guy. Sijui. And you know, that's why somebody says that the greatest thing is if you know your partner's greatest fear, but you don't take them through it.
Yeah, true.
That's like what love is, I guess.
True.
So it kind of also keeps me in check.
Inabidi ukae mahali pazuri.
Because those two mean the world to me.
Wow.
And that's why having them has made me really appreciate mothers, because Ivy is an amazing mother. Like she's even helped me just learn more, because she's deep. She loves research and reading. So sometimes she tells me things she's read and I'm like, but you see it applied to the children and it's such a tremendous change. Like, you know, hii kitu ya kuhepa watoi. Kumwambia ndo vae viatu alafu na amevaa nini chikoleko. You see, like now my son, he wasn't talking, he would just cry. But now, like, when I do that, he remembers like after 30 minutes, because wait, Baba went this way to the kitchen. Then he realized quickly, inaweza kwa amenitoka. So he runs to the parking, anaona kuna gari. Then now my Ivy ananiambia alikuwa amekaa chini, anakaa chini, ana pout, anauliza nini mbaya, anasema daddy amewacha mahali. So it was so painful. I actually had to talk this morning. So we tried it different. I took him, nikamkalisha kama now daddy has to go to job. Akaanza kulia, ananihaga, hataki niende. No. Here's what we're going to do. I'm coming back. So nitakupeleka round, tuchape round na gari. Then you have to now stay here with mommy and your sister Yara. You take care of them. Then daddy is coming. What do you want me to bring for you? Akasema juice. Nikasema sawa. Na nikampeleka round na akatoka. Hata akaniambia see you later. It was better.
I think pia ni psychological. My son pia alikuwa analia hivyo sana.
Yes.
Hataki umwache. But the fact that tumemwambia nitaenda nitarudi. Utaenda na utarudi.
Yes.
So even the next time tumwambia, so remember the last time
I told you
nitaenda na nikarudi. Si nilirudi.
Yes.
So anaanza kufeel by the way he can go and come back.
Yes.
So I think it gets better and better over time, but when you tell them the truth.
When you tell them the truth.
Enda
because that it's over time. I mean, it might not even be then, but over time it also so people can lie. People just lie and that's it. And people normally, you see, sisi ni wale watu wa, you know, our upbringing might be different. Some of us were military, some of us were mimi nimenunua vitu kwa hii nyumba, therefore why should I come for the PTA meeting? Why should I take you for sports and all these things, you see?
Why should I come for visiting?
Si uko na kila kitu.
Si nimekusaidia pocket money, si iko sawa kila kitu. Bas.
So now for me it's having to change some of those things and to be present, and it has made such a difference, especially for my son, even my daughter, but just being present. I've seen what it means to Mali, like what it means, like, you know, even the things he comes, he tells me how he relates to me, how he's affectionate, how he treats other people, and then also his belief, you know, he's a very confident maybe, because like, hey, me and I, my dad is the guy.
Your first body.
First body. You know, baba yangu anapiga baba yako.
Alafu analetwa kwangu.
Alafu anachaga. Baba yako ni OG. Na baba yako naoni. But imagine, let me tell you something, Soxxy. This is my belief. Even if mtoto OG akuja mwambia mtoto wako amemess na waseme baba yako anaweza piga baba yako. Let me tell you, when your son is watching, I will take the swing. Utapancho OG.
Iko nini? Heri hata ni punch ni hepe. But hey,
But uli swing.
Hey, asinimalize nipange. Uliona
Uliona yeye.
I hit him.
Yes.
That.
Sasa naambia ukishamchapa hivi uhepe unamwambia but daddy what run my son's strategy. Yeah. It's really changed my perspective.
But nice. Well done. Just maybe to the dads out there.
Yes.
Malizia. How would you encourage dads and maybe something to encourage them to yani and learning from you, yes, things that they can do. And before niulize a mistake that maybe you've done in the past that una look back unasema as a dad, I wish I didn't do this, ingekuwaje?
Yeah, it's how I when my son, I think he made a mistake that would be an honest mistake. You know, children hawana kama akipata hii jenga hapa
anaigonga kwanza.
So he did something like that, but I had so much stress that day. So I shouted to him and he came chuna. And I don't even think it was what he had done, but it was oh my God, what has dad done to me? For him, he was like yeah, like he was heartbroken. Yeah, like this guy.
Dad, yani you've done this.
Yes.
So you're not the chapa dad.
No, I'm not the chapa. I thought I was. I thought I would be. I'm very stern, strict, and my Ivy always tells me ati nimegrow up na polisi so
unataka
mimi ni mtoto wa polisi.
Unataka ku badesi mtoto wa polisi lakini.
Mimi ni mtoto wa polisi kweli. Mimi ule shout out to Mr. P administration ndani yake. So that time, after that, I realized that, I mean, it's okay to, when it comes to discipline, people decide what they want to do with their kids, but I think it is more of what I allowed my own personal stresses of the day. I took it out on him, and I had to, actually, because I don't know, they listen. Because I had to, I hugged him, and I held him, and he cried, akamaliza. Then I told him, Daddy made a mistake, and he's very sorry.
Did you tell him sorry?
Yes, I did. I said, I'm very sorry. And he was like, it's okay. You know, but ilikula ndani.
Upbringing yako ulioisikia your dad telling you sorry.
Amazing. That's one of the things that I thank my dad for. Because my dad was everybody knows my dad, Willis Raburu, former PC. Everybody knows, strict, stickler to the rules. Man, my dad hakuwa anatuchapa, but angetugomanisha tulie machozi. Like just by how the firmness in his voice, the strictness and the things he's telling you. So, but in all that, and I grew up, everybody was afraid of him. Everybody, you know, okay, I know it will sound bougie, but the bodyguards, the security, the drivers, everybody was afraid of him. But I would hear my dad used to tell my mom sorry and I love you. Those two words I used to hear.
Wow.
And when he comes home, he would kiss my mom in front of us. And he would say, Willis, I'm sorry. You know, and that would, many times now when I was older, especially, you know, so we went through, like you said, a lot of transitions, right? Remember I had the 10/10 time, and because he was getting a lot of pressure from the church and all that, so you would call also, he's off 5 people calling him about your son. So of course when you call your son, unakuja wewe plus the 5. So ananilemea bana, hata sina time ya kuongea, ananiteremkia. Then the next thing like, I've thought about it and I'm sorry. I'm like that. Wow. Yeah. Same thing when I put dreadlocks.
By the way, na umepitia mambo mingi.
Naonanga watu wanasema, hawa watu wangu mwanzo nimewapitisha story mob. I was telling my brother the other day, I've been that kid.
Yeah.
And then nakwambia na bado keep on changing.
So what do we expect in the near future? Something different.
Yeah, something powerful.
Yo usituambie.
Nisiwaambie?
Yo usituambie.
Wache tu.
Wacha ikuwe surprise.
Sawa. But I think I appreciate my dad for saying that.
Wow.
I'm sorry and I love you. I used to tell my mom, sisi tulikuwa tunamwambia daddy I love you anasema amen. Until later, I love you, amen. Until later on in life. When we started telling him, hey, watu wanasemanga I love you too. And even Ivy akiongea na yeye, alimwambia Ivy is big on expression and she really, anybody who knows her in the family and everything, she insists on You know, if somebody tells you I love you, you gotta say it. You gotta say it back. That's the proper way. And so my dad also would like, I think it's just he fights with it sometimes. He says we love you. He doesn't say I. So when Ivy says I love you, he's like, okay, yeah, we love you. So no, Dad, you gotta say it. So these days my dad, when he calls Ivy, starts with Ivy, I love you. Ivy,
a good one.
I love you, my daughter.
That's a good one.
You know, like, okay, I love you too.
That's a good one.
So I think for me, that has been the thing. And I tell my son sorry, and then we've realized that because they watch a lot, they're like sponges. So even when the house help brings something, we say thank you, or we say, could you please do this for me? And these days, like, there's a time he was walking down the stairs and I was eating biscuits. He had just woken up. Then I gave him the biscuit. I was like, oh, thank you, Baba. So I was like, wow.
Nice,
so he says a lot of thank you, by the way, and okay. Sorry, no, tunajaribu kuinstill.
Sorry inakuanga na shida.
Sorry, ni say your sorry.
Sorry ni shida.
Kuna siku niambia say sorry akasema sorry. Nikamwambia what's going on?
Isema vizuri. Say it nicely.
Say sorry.
Sorry lakini inakuanga na shida.
But at least wanajua.
Yeah,
like me, I insist. I pause the TV, I stop everything. Namshika, he'll throw his tantrums. I'm like, when you're done, we are going back to tell mommy sorry. So he'll throw his tantrums, nini. But he knows that he is strong. Mimi hawezi fanya, anafanyanga hivyo. Those are the things I used to tell him growing up. Akianza hizo tantrums, namshika tu namwambia, do you know your father is the strongest person in the world?
Yes.
Yeah, so this can't fly. Yeah. So anatulia. So mimi atafanya kidogo then atulie, then I say, now are you finished? Now you have to go and tell mommy sorry.
Yeah.
Unamwambia hata mara na hakuna kitu cha Mungu hadi aseme sorry.
Hata sema ina
nani
shida.
kitu anajua?
Until
Father says sorry. Ataki kuisema. But unless he's really on the wrong, ile anajua nimeshikwa like sorry.
Ile sasa yenyewe hapa.
But ile yenye like amepush sister yake ama amegonga mami nini. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Challenge to parents, to dads actually.
To dads, I think for dads, one of the things I'd like to inform you is you're doing your best. You know, sometimes as fathers as well, we always wonder, oh man, the wife is here, the mom is here with the child, and mtoto sasa amezoea mama yake, and what am I doing? You know, mimi, I'm always out. If you're working, hustling, trying to get something, so it looks like you're not doing enough. But you are. So long as you can get some time in the day to be present and be there with them. If you can, when you get home, spend some time with them, or if you're early in the morning or over the weekends, try to be present with your children. And you're doing okay. Let me just tell you. I know sometimes we don't hear that as much, but you're doing okay. You are a good daddy, and you know all you need to do is to be present. Okay, to listen and to continue learning. This thing is a learning curve. What may work in my house may not work in your house. What may work in Soxxy may not work in your house. So find out what works for you and do it. And be there for your kids, because we are the best way we can save the next generation, take people to the next level, have an amazing country even in the future. We are planting those seeds now.
True.
You see the Malis, the Yaras, and your children as well. Those ones, they're the ones who we are living in this country too. And they're the ones who are going to take us to the next level. So if we mess them up, we're messing up community and we're messing up the country. I know it sounds like a big daunting task, like what kwani mimi ndo savior wa nchi. Hapana, wewe ni savior wa your world yako, your world. True. You're responsible for how your son will be treating ladies in future. How your daughter will be treating men in the future. You're their first examples. So just do it right, do your best, and like Joel Austin says, put God first place in your life, and He'll take you places you've never even dreamed of. But most importantly, you're doing okay.
That's true.
You see how you're sweating, breaking your back, trying to get money for that unga. You're doing okay. Yeah. Just keep on doing that. But don't overwork and say that is your mimi nikishalipa rent nilipe nyumba. Tosha.
Msiniulize
kitu kingine. Yeah, be present. I know it's hard. I know it's hard to look for this rent and unga and everything. But after you do it, also be present. Watu wajue kuna pesa na pia kuna mwenye anatafuta hiyo pesa.
True.
Na pia kuna upendo wa dadi.
True.
Yes, Mungu abariki sana.
Asante sana. Na pia kidogo utaguzia kuhusu how to overcome pain during that season that you went through of loss. How you manage through it, because I know there are many who are going through it now and who will go through it. How would you encourage them on how to go through that season?
Right. So if you're going through pain, especially of loss, the number one thing to do is don't deny it, don't fight it. Go through it. Feel the pain, feel the anger, feel the disappointment, feel the bitterness. Go through. If that's how you wake up today, go through it. Now, the way you don't get stuck in there is to get help. You get help by talking to somebody who is maybe your partner, but it's also important, if you can afford it, to get professional help. To go talk to an actual therapist to walk you through what you're feeling and how to deal with it, because grief can throw you in a place where you don't even understand yourself or your partner. So you'll see some things your partner is doing and think they're insensitive, but it's really them also grappling with how to deal with pain. So if you can, reach out and get some help, go for therapy, talk to your friend. If you can't afford therapy, but there are some free therapy sessions these days. You can go online. I know Chiromo has one, and there are some online as well. So if you follow Real Mike Washira, he shares a lot about the free therapy sessions as well on Instagram, so you can check that out. If you can't, talk to somebody who you can trust or somebody who's gone through it. That can also help as well. But do not deny the pain you're going through. Especially when it comes to your relationship with God, it is okay to talk to him and say, today I'm feeling pain, today I don't even feel like praying. That is okay and it's acceptable. You will find your way back there, pole, as you deal with it. And then if you have gone through it before and you are now getting into another relationship, make sure you inform your partner about what your past is like, because it will come up. There will be days when you're crying and they're wondering what's going on. So please inform them that these are things that you've gone through, so that they can then accommodate you when these things happen. And if you're currently going through it now, like I said during the interview, I may not understand all of your pain and all of what you're going through, but I can tell you that slowly but surely, you'll get there. And the place called there is not a place that is free of grief, free of pain. It's a place where slowly by slowly, you get back to your normal routine. But the grief won't go away entirely. And anybody who tells you it does is lying. So you will learn to cope and deal with it. You will learn to work with it, but acknowledge it when it happens. And also learn to cherish that memory of the person you lost. It could be a child, your father, your mother, etc. But cherish that memory of that person. Cherish the memory of the process, if maybe you lost it during childbirth. Cherish the process and who that person made you. If it's somebody who you've lost, cherish their memories. And you will get there. I don't say you'll be okay, but you'll get to a place called there.
Wow, thank you. Asante sana kwa kukuja.
Shukrani kwa kuwa na mimi.
For your time.
Asante.
Sasa umeongeza kofia nyingine.
Yeah.
You are an alpha.
I'm now
alpha.
Kama yangu mzazi nito hii.
Itaanguka.
Ulikaje?
Subute tu.
Bana,
Wajarudisha. Ni wanu. Nimekwambia utaangusha, ona sasa. Umeharibu.
The system was rigged. Na nilikuwa nimemuona.
Well, iko sawa. Umeanza kuandika vitabu.
Yes. I've written a book called Undefined. It comes out August the 19th, but it's available now in pre-order. The details will be on the screen here. Yes. So the gist of the thing is, just like you said, I've gone through so many transitions. What I realized in 2020 when I was losing everything is that I had so many labels that were put on me by society. And even when I went to look at my, you write your bio on social media, I actually deleted all of that and just put Undefined. Some of the things are there. Yes, they're good for promotion and so people to know what you're about. But it should never be that mtu amekuweka in their box. You see the same way wanasema watu walidhani Willis ni wa serious. Sasa anaanza kuruka kwani amekuwa cheesy. Yes, cause mimi siko kwa mold yako. Mimi niko kwa mold yangu. Me, I'm doing life my way. Miles Monroe, the late said, you should die empty. If you have a talent and you can explore it and you have the platform to explore it, by all means explore it. So Undefined is basically a book that will deliver people from people and allow you to reach your fullest potential through my story. And my hope is that it impacts people, it starts a revolution to change the narrative of we have to be what people tell us to be. People can advise you, they can say, I see your potential is in this place, but you have to see it too. Of course, there are times when you don't see it, they can tell you, you can be a great man. And you're like, me too.
Yes.
It happened even with David, just a shepherd boy. But you see, over time, he had to discover it and want it for himself. And also know that even his ascension to be king was different than William You're it. So everybody has that journey. The point of the book is for people to respect your journey, right? And for you to know that just because somebody says you can't, doesn't mean that maybe when, but me naweza fanya. You know one thing that I said when I was making some of my very tough life decisions, I got to a point when I said, let me make the decision so that at least this is something that Willis wants. So that if I fail, I have nobody else to blame but Willis. So that I always succeed. Ulikuwa umeniambia ati nikikuwa na hiki kitu sasa nitakuwa sawa. Ulinidanganya. Hapana. Nataka mimi ile
umedecide.
Yes. And it is me who will face the kwanza. So yeah, you have to be undefined in that way. Undefined means wachana kufikiria in the box. Chana na hizo vitu.
Usiauko kwa box wewe.
Uko kwa box. Usiweke the sky, as they say, as the limit. Let it be the stepping stone because there are galaxies out there.
Wow. Yeah. Excellent. Pre-order pre-order.
Munaweka kwa tiu. The information iko hapa kwa tiu naba. Italeta Willis Raburu. Don't be afraid, it is me. My middle name is Wayne. Italeta Willis Raburu, you pre-order, and then we'll have a meet and greet August 4th at the Baraza Media Lab.
Dio?
Yes, the first people who pre-order the first 100 copies, utakuja hapo tufanye book signing. Yes, on that day, then we'll launch it on August the 19th.
Aya, tutaweka poster hapa kwenye.
Yes.
Kwenye.
Yeah.
Hapo.
Kama ile, Yeah, man. Mimi sasa niko kwa ligi ya kina TDJ.
Asante sana.
Mimi ota.
Wabele! Willis Raburu, asante sana kwa kukam. God akubless. I know today you've inspired, encouraged many.
Yes.
And thank you for being honest, sharing your story.
Asante sana.
Mungu akubariki sana.
Mungu akubariki
na tutaonana tena.
Yeah.
Hiyo level nyingine. Najua Mungu kuna mahali level na kupeleka level nyingine.
Yes.
Mungu akubariki.
Amina.
Amina. Na usitusahau sisi.
Amina. Si Ninakubeba. Yes.
Daddy's Corner. We have amazing conversations with Dad. Dads, hope umepata manze inspiration pale na Willis Raburu. He's gone through a tough season, but he's overcome it. Going through season after season after season. So make sure you pre-order his book. We'll put the details right here. But thank you so much for watching. My name is Soxxy. This has been Daddy's Corner. See you next time.